Hey guys, I wanted to shoot a quick message for you, coaching call today. Obviously, with me being remote in the service, I wanted to do a pre-recorded, so I'm hitting it up. So we won't have our normal 4:30 today, but we'll kick that back next week. So I know a lot of you guys schedules are changing, specifically the ones that kids are going back to school. Routines may adjust, and I want to really talk about setting the stage for success when it comes to thinking about your schedule, non-negotiables, things of that nature. So I really try to help you guys build those components in the front side of this program. The foundational components. That way, you have those non-negotiables built in, and what does that look like for you? So we're going to review some of these components, and some of this may be a review for you guys, and some of it may be like, okay, hey, I need to take some time to set the stage for success. So I'm going to go through a couple different strategies that I use, and then obviously strategies that I'll help you guys implement as well. So the first components that I want to talk about is what are your non-negotiables in your daily routines. So you want to list out 3 to 5 components that maybe you are going to build within your schedule on your daily routine. What does that look like? What does your morning routine look like? Okay. What are you going to incorporate in there? And I'll give you an example of some of the stuff that I do and I've done for years is I like to get up a little bit earlier before everyone else. And I take some time to do more some reading type, whatever book that I'm into. I'll take 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe, just depends, and get some reading in. After the reading, I might do some self-reflection and or some meditation type components that I've learned from NLP. So I get my time in. And again, this is going to look different for each person. So what is your 3 to 5 non-negotiables? You can look at it from a morning routine. If you need to get up earlier and do these components, I would recommend doing that because it helps set the tone for your day. And if you can get up and get some of those boxes checked, it's going to give you obviously moving in the right direction. Okay. The other ones would be, okay, when's your workouts? What does that look like? Uh, your food, strategic meals, maybe. Sleep. What is that going to look like for the evening? What routines are you going to change for the evening? So I went from morning. Obviously, you may have these other components scheduled in. So these become the foundational components of your non-negotiables. So again, choose 3 to 5 and start implementing those components into your day. So most of you guys have already started this. You understand and your schedule's cyclical, but stuff is going to happen. Routines are going to change. And when you see a routine or the schedule start to change, maybe kids going back to school, evaluate that. Where are you going to build your non-negotiables? What does that look like? Because you may have to make some adjustments. Okay, work with your spouse and make sure you guys are on the same page. Who needs to pick up the kids? Who needs to do this? Who needs to do that? And you guys can divide and conquer. That way, you're still taking care of you and getting your non-negotiables in, guys. So you want to look at how you can automate and delegate certain components as well if you need to. So if you don't have time for meal prep, maybe you do a meal delivery service, or you prep some of the food, or you help your spouse prep some of your food on Sunday. You just take that time and schedule it out and then know, like, hey, this is important, and we'll get it taken care of. Make sure your workouts are scheduled through the week. Again, sometimes you will have things come up where you're going to miss. And if you miss, okay, where can you fit it back in? It's not always going to be perfect. It just has to be good enough. 80% it's going to get you there. And then, from there, what do you need to make adjustments to, as far as your obligations of what you're doing? Sometimes with work, I understand you have to take care of some of those things, and that's going to pull you in different directions. Maybe you do some evaluation of where you're spending too much time that's not sufficient for you. Is that watching Sports Center? Is that scrolling on the Instagram too much? You know, you want to evaluate those components and really understand where are you spending time, or where can you make up some time to work on yourself? Okay. So I'm going to give you, example, and I kind of walk through that. But so say if you wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning, what is your routine going to be? What time is your workout? Do you go get your workout in before everybody else and get it knocked out? You may be able to do that. And then what are your obligations do you have to have towards the family? What are your obligations to work? What does that look like? And go ahead and schedule those components out, and then go through and say, okay, where am I, quote unquote, where may I be wasting time, or spending time that I shouldn't? And maybe you have to take that and move it on. And I'll be pretty transparent with myself. Um, I Watching TV has almost gone completely obsolete. I will turn it on here and there as maybe I'm eating breakfast to catch the news, maybe 5 to 10 minutes at night, maybe. It's just one of those components that we've kind of moved away from, and that's our choice because we're spending time in other areas. So do evaluation, figure out where you can make up some time, guys, because I know all of us have it. And what can you do a better job of building non-negotiables in? So what I'd like for you guys to do, if you guys haven't done this, again, a lot of you guys, are schedules change. Our schedule's getting ready to change personally as well. We've been on a routine in the summer, and we've been maneuvering that routine. And Aaron and I, once we get back home, the kids are going to be starting school soon, and we will lay out a schedule that's going to be conducive for us and make sure that we're getting our non-negotiables in. Okay. And what does that look like? It's going to change for us too. So I would take some time, guys, with your spouses and even yourself, and go through what's your non-negotiables. Where can you make up some time? Where are you, quote unquote, wasting time? And do evaluation and see if you can't get on a better schedule. So hopefully this helps a little bit. Look forward to hitting a live one next week, and we'll keep you guys moving in the right direction. Hit me up if you need a schedule a coaching call. So I'll talk with you guys soon.